Welcome to the BCC. This is Marc Ponzio doing our commentary for our 118-2025 main event. We did a singles tournament. This is a semifinals match between Marc on the left and Nick on the right. Nick's a brand new face at the BCC. He started playing Crokinole just as recently as December. We met him at PAX Unplugged, and he came out for an event and put up a great showing, coming out to compete against a lot of our regulars. And here he is for the semifinals match. So Marc took the toss-up and took hammer. Nick tries to clear a piece there, comes a little short on the clear. Let's see what Marc can do with this. He manages a drop back, about a little less than a centimeter. That was a good drop back there. Let's see, Nick's trying to clear here. He catches a peg. It sort of bounces around a little bit. Marc sort of just hides on the far side. He's got the 120 advantage in the cup. Nick's looking for an angle on this. This is a tricky one. He's got sort of Hogan's is blocked by his own piece, and then he's got a half-hole shot across the board. I think he's trying to avoid both of those angles, and he hits a peg trying it. That was a tricky one at best. Marc just does a regular clear off of a posted piece. Nick bounces around a little bit, trying to clear himself. I think at this point, Marc's playing a little defense because he knows he's up in the cup. He's got a lot of pieces on in a lot of different areas of the board. He doesn't really have to do too much to maintain his lead other than clear here and there. Nick accidentally just drains a 20 without touching anything, so that's invalid. Marc sets up a double bump and run because he's got the time and the pieces are lined up, I guess. Okay, so Nick manages to clear. He gets himself situated in the 15-point zone, which is not quite enough, but it was a good try. All right, so Marc walks away with the 2 points on that one. Here we are in for the second round. And this one, Marc will be starting. He goes a little long. Let's see what Nick has. All right, Nick bounced off the hole on that one, but he did manage to at least push the blue piece out. Marc had a faulty clear there. He sort of bounced off a peg and sort of glanced off the piece. Nick's in good position here. He's got two pieces on. Marc, again, with the messy clears, bouncing off pegs, not doing great there. Nick nails a 20 there to put himself up and in good position. Marc comes back with a double. He kind of needs to get a 20 at some point because he is still short, at least one hammer and one piece in the cup. There we go. Marc's at least tied the cup, but he's still behind the hammer at this point. Nick probably didn't mean to clear there, but he ended up falling off the board. Marc went a little short, not great. Nick can't quite get the conversion with that heavy hanger, but Marc's trying to figure out how to do the same thing himself. He's going to come from the side instead of risking the piece he has in the middle. Not quite. He kind of overshot there, did more of a follow-through than a hanger. Nick dropped a beautiful 20 off the pegs there. That was really great. Nick's doing really well. I had a chance to sit down with him personally at this event, and oh my God, look at that. Angle in 20 from the far side to save the round. Beautiful. But Nick's a great player. We had about 40 minutes to sit down before we played and talk strategy, and he's one of those, just sort of beginning players with a lot of eye for the game and a mind for the angles and everything. So he was a lot of fun and a great person to play with. All right, so back into it. Let's see. Marc's up one in the cup, but Nick's got a lot of real estate here. I don't think Marc meant to roll out there, but it sort of worked out for him anyway. Nick gets a really good position between the pegs there. Marc tries to clear them both out. He gets one, but at least he doesn't have something stuck between the pegs there. Nick hits a peg on the way in. Not great. Nick needs to do a little work now. He's behind a 20, and he's losing board position here. Oh, beautiful follow-through that was. Nick hits like a good 4-inch long follow-through, and that was just a great shot. Marc just kind of blew that advantage out of the water with a regular 20. Here we go again. Marc's hitting another 20, so it's now 3-1 in the cup. Nick is having some trouble clearing this piece, and that pretty much sealed it. So Marc takes that round. It's now 4-2 overall. This is Marc's lead this round. Marc shoots a little long. He's been starting his rounds that way a couple of times. Nick goes for a rebound and bounces right off a peg into himself. That wasn't a great position. Marc just decides to clear the piece in the backfield so he doesn't end up having to play on Nick's side. Let's see. Oh, Nick was talking a little bit about what his goals with that last shot where he was trying to get a double takeout, but he ended up getting a follow through at one point. It was really, regardless, he did a great job with that shot. Let's see, Marc tries a little touch in, and he overshoots it a little bit. Nick's going for the clear, and he ends up clearing his own shot. He shot a little wide on that. Marc gets a straight 20. Nick keeps a piece on. Marc makes an error there, bounces off a piece too close to the peg. Now Nick's got some position on the board here, but he has to hold on to it. Let's see what he can do. He does have the hammer, so theoretically, if he can keep some decent position, he might be able to overcome Marc's one piece in the cup here. But that means Nick has to clear every shot. He always has to get a clear on every shot and stick on the board. And that kind of causes trouble there. Now Marc has 2 pieces. It's almost impossible for a double takeout 20 to tie here. And Nick ends up with just 1 demotion. Marc wins the round. So now it's 6-2. This is a match to 7, so this is a possibility of being the last round here. Nick goes a little long there, bounces off a peg and leaves the house. Marc goes a little left, again missing his first open shot. Nick leaves Marc with a kind of a backboard shot here. See if he can take advantage. Marc takes advantage. Doesn't get the clear, but he does get the 20, and he's already got a piece on, so that's sort of a good position. Now he's forcing Nick to shoot all the way across the house. Oh, Nick came so close there. It was like couldn't have been any less space between that peg and the piece he shot. All right, Nick gets the clear finally, but he unfortunately rolls to the outside, and looks like Marc's playing the keep a piece on and always just stick around the outside game. I think Nick does realize it after a shot or two, but it gets down to the point where we have maybe 2 shots left each. I think Nick's trying to clear here. He tried to follow through all the way off, but he didn't quite make it. Last shot for Nick, which would have to be pretty miraculous if he's going to get a 20 out of this. And he goes a little too far. Good match. Marc came in on top 8-2. Let's head on over to the highlights and take a look and see some of the best shots of the day. And there were some excellent shots here. All right, so this is a drop back that Marc did. Nice little touch and bounce backwards into the hole. Technically kind of challenging. This is a bump and run, a double bump and run that Marc did, I think, because he just had enough advantage and enough pieces on the board. This is, I think it's a double. Yeah, it's a double with a little bit of a bounce back. That was pretty good there, too. Let's see what Nick has. Nick has this double peg, self-interference 20, which was beautiful. Oh, this was a beautiful shot. Nick ends up with this really lovely far to the outside angle-in shot that just saved the round and made him win that round. That was great. I think this is his follow-through, too. Yeah, beautiful follow-through from the line. Gorgeous shot. And this is his, very first few times playing. Nick's wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to have more coverage from the other semifinals match and the finals match from this event. Please take a look at the links below if you want to follow them and keep up with the club. Thank you. Take care.